second. Let me get some music. Let me see if I can. Unfortunately, Analyze will not be able to hear the music. Do the one on the Black Star Canyon. Ooh, I'll look that one up. I appreciate any. By the way, if you guys have an interesting, scary, spooky mystery that's an unsolved mystery, or that's like a partly solved mystery, because I do have some on my list that I thought were unsolved, but then when I looked into them, they're kind of solved. Apparently. Hi, Joseph. Hi. Yeah, apparently they are solved, and I just didn't get the memo. But okay, Black Star Canyon. I'm just looking that up on the on my extra tab here. Hi, Beaker. Hi, Michaela. Hi. All right, let me just move. Let me just adjust my phone stand so I can see the chat better. Hi. Okay. So let me get some some music for Twitch. Let me see if there's DMCA scary music. Let me see if that's a thing. DMCA free. Maybe Halloween. I know it's way too early for Halloween, but hi, puppy. DMCA free Halloween music? No, there's no way this is DMCA free. This is Halloween? No, that's not a DMCA free song. It's fucking Disney. Stream safe, scary music. I don't know, you guys. We might have to go royalty free scary music. I don't think royalty free is the same thing. I don't know. Let's go to my typical music, because I don't want yeah. I should have looked up what do you call it? Stream safe spooky music before the stream, but I didn't think about it until just now. Alright, so let me just pick a playlist. I don't know. I'll just shuffle. I'll just shuffle it. I don't want to delay too long, but sorry if the ambiance isn't there, you guys. But I want to at least have something for you guys. Ooh, is that loud? You guys, that might be loud. Sorry if that was too loud on Twitch. Hi, Rebel. I remember you, Joseph? I know a lot of people named Joseph. Can you remind me? How you doing? Hi. Yeah, Joseph. You come in here with a name like Joseph and ask if I remember you? Could I get a last name? Could I get like a hint of like a middle initial? Come on now. Aw, Rebel, it's always so good to see you. Thank you so much. Alright, you guys, we're gonna get started though, because I have a lot of mysteries on my plate, and I do want to try to have a little bit of downtime in between my two streams, just to like, get set up and like get a snack and stuff. So, our first mystery though is a little bit of a sad one, because I want to get the really sad one out of the way. Okay, if you're gonna have a bad attitude, Joseph, I'm going to mute you. So you can either stop having a bad attitude right now, or you can get muted, okay? Anyways, the first one we're gonna do is a little bit on the sad side, so I'm sorry if you're like sensitive. But I figured I'd get it out of the way. You're gonna do My Neighbor Totoro Grave of the Fireflies? Is that like a fan theory type thing? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that. So I don't know. But we'll start with the ones that I know. Oh, they were released together? Huh? I'm confused. One really sad and one happy. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about like a mystery. Oh, no. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't think there's really any like happy mysteries, but there's like less depressing mysteries. But this one's kind of sad. So I'll get through this one first, and then we'll get to maybe some goofier ones, okay? And we don't need to go in this order. If you're watching on Twitch, we don't need to go in this order of the tabs I have here. This is just kind of like to help me stay a little bit organized. But yeah, so the first one we're going to talk about is the disappearance of Timothy Pitson. That's Timothy with 2 M's, okay? Timothy Pitson was a 6-year-old boy who he went missing in 2011. Okay, Toshi, yeah, grab your iced coffee. You know, it's been a while since I had iced coffee. I used to drink iced coffee all the time when I first like started drinking human foods and human beverages instead of just battery acid. But I learned that I kind of prefer soda or just battery acid. So, he was a 6-year-old boy who in 2011 he went missing because what happened was his mother and his father were separated. Okay, they were no longer together. And I don't think that she was supposed to pick him up from school that day, but she did. She went and picked him up in the middle of the school day, or in the morning. And then she went on like a 3-day trip with him to like all these different places, like the zoo, the amusement park. And they were missing during this time. And they were like, obviously the family was like, where are you? And trying to like, get a hold of her and been like, where did you go with this little boy? Okay, this is his mom, okay? But, they were probably thinking like, okay, well, it's strange, but, he's with his mom, so maybe it'll be okay. But then what happened was, they went to a hotel, and unfortunately, they ended up finding the mother deceased in the hotel room, okay, due to self-inflicted injuries. But the strange thing was there was no trace of the little boy, Timothy. Like, no trace of him. They couldn't find him anywhere. And so she left a note. Yeah. So she left a note before she died that said that Timothy was with people who would keep care of him and that he was safe and that they would never find him. Okay? So, and ever since then, he's been missing. They never found him. They found the mom, but they never found him after this strange 3-day trip. And this note saying that he was safe and he would never be found. Which kind of almost sounds like an oxymoron a little bit, because at some point, like, I mean, also think about this. This boy was 6 years old, okay? He wasn't like a lobotomite, okay? He had like, consciousness. So he probably, like, if he's alive today, like, he probably knows. He probably remembers, what happened. He probably remembers, like, where he was and everything, right? He may not remember the exact details, but he probably knows enough where, if he heard about this story, he probably realized it was him. Okay? You know what I mean? So, now, there is one thing that suggests that she actually did kill him, which is that there was, they found a bunch of his blood in her car. However, the family did note that he would have nosebleeds, and that he had a big nosebleed like earlier that same month that could be the source of that blood. So that's not necessarily proof that he's deceased. Now his father, I feel really bad for his father, but his father believes that the kid is still alive and that he was he's basically kidnapped, or that the mother had given him to somebody that raised him. Obviously by now he would be 19 years old. He would be an adult by now. Okay? There's a picture of him. I'm sure there's probably age progressed. If I can find an age progressed picture of him, I'll show you guys. Because you never know. Maybe he is out there. And maybe one of you guys will find him. But yeah, this is a really mysterious case, and I always wonder if they ever found this kid, because the fact that it's so strange, the fact that they found her but they didn't find any trace of him. And they were never able to find, and they never saw him. There's been no confirmed sightings of him. The last time he was seen was on a security footage at a resort that they had gone to during their trip, and that was the last time he was ever seen. And yeah. So let me see if I can see if they have an age progressed picture of him, because I know they usually release age progressed pictures a lot of the time of missing people. I don't know if this is the most recent one. No, there's probably a more recent one. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I'll put this link up. Yeah, so this is what they think he would look like today, based on forensic analysis of his face. You can't see it on Anna Live, obviously. But yeah, here on Twitch. So if you know this person, call somebody. Feel sorry for the dad. Did they ever look into the possible motive? I think that the issue is probably a custody issue. So here's the background. It says, yeah, and when she went to the school, she claimed that there was a family emergency. That's why she picked him up. I don't think it really said investigation. I never really thought about that. I guess I always assumed. Hi. Yeah, it doesn't really say. I guess I always assumed. I guess I always assumed it was like a custody issue because, you know, when people are separated and they're like, you know, they have a kid together, you know, sometimes they don't get along too good and stuff like that. So, oh, here's the other thing. Oh, I forgot this part. So she actually called him. They actually like had a phone call at some point during the disappearance, and the father could hear the kid in the background of the phone call. Hi, homo saxophone. I'm gonna mute you because I don't, because of last time. Yeah, bye. I don't play. Give me a second. All right. Anyways, hi Jeffy. Hi. I'm currently discussing Unsolved Mystery, the disappearance. Hi, Blue and Blue. Hi. Oh wait, I just saw your messages, Blue and Blue. That guy looks like he rages at LOL. I mean, I hope that he's out there doing that. I do. It's a lot more eerie here. Yeah, Hugo. Yeah, this one is a little bit, it does kind of help with the, what do you call it? The visual aids. But we're talking about the disappearance of Timothy Pitson. He was a 6-year-old boy who was basically kidnapped by his mom for 3 days, and then she was found dead, but he was never found. Hi, Jake. Hi. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, Michaela. Yeah. I recognize you. But yeah. So, yeah. That's a really good question. Puffy. I'm not really sure what her motive would be. Maybe like, yeah, custody issue, or maybe like, I don't know. I don't want to say that like, you know, mental, like, I don't want to always tie crime with mental illness, but that could also be like a factor. Hi, Nixie. Hi. How you doing? Yeah. So, yeah, I never actually like, because I've watched a couple documentaries about this. Well, thank you for the hi, homo saxophone. You can communicate to me through GIFs, okay? Since we don't have any slurs on our GIFs here at Analive. Anyways. Hi, y'all. So yeah, but anyways, there's another sad part of this story. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's like kind of sad how people like I feel like some people like don't love their kids, you know? Like I feel like some people just kill their kids. Doing things to hurt people is enough of a reason. Yeah, exactly. So there's another sad part of this story, which is that there was this guy, Brian Reaney, and I remember when this happened because I remember like when this, like back in 2019 when this happened, I remember seeing that there was a person claiming to be this kid. And I was wondering if it really was him, because I was like, oh, maybe he really is out there alive. You know, the thing is, like, I'm kind of on the fence a little bit. I'm a little bit on the fence about whether he's out there alive or not. Like, I feel like if I had to bet money, I would bet that she just killed him, honestly. I know sometimes people pretend to be, yeah. Unfortunately, that happens, like, oh, it's kind of like reminds me of like the hoaxes stream that I did, where it's like people who just lie and just want attention or something. Like, it happens all the time. But but I remember that this Brian Rinney person claimed to be him. Yeah, claimed to be him. He was wandering, so it was really weird. And I remember. You recognize one of the ones from the thumbnail? Oh yeah, I'll try to get through as many of these I have at the top as I can, but I'll definitely try to go over the ones I have in the I will go over the ones I have in the thumbnail. But yeah, so this was kind of weird because it's like the guy didn't go out of his way. He didn't like call the police and was like, "Hello, I'm Timothy Pitson." He was just like wandering around. He was like wandering around looking like he was in trouble, and then like people called the police like to report that there was like this kid like walking around. Well, he was a teen. Well, okay, he's an adult. He was 23, but I guess like he looked like younger, and so they were like, okay, there's like this teenage kid walking around. Then he claimed that he was Timothy Pitson, but when the police caught up with him and they were like, oh, are you okay, like little boy, like what, like who are you? And he decided to just say he was Timothy Pitson for some reason. So yeah. And I think that was just like a mental illness issue. I have heard of Missing 411. I have. That's like a whole, isn't that like a whole series of like disappearances? Isn't the whole idea of that is like people who go mysteriously missing in the woods in the wilderness? Isn't that like, I was looking at I was trying to look up a specific story related to that, but I couldn't find the name. But I could mention it in passing, but I can't give you any like real details because I don't remember the name of the kid. But I'll mention that in a bit. But yeah, so anyways, in terms of this one, if I had to bet money, like if you ask me right now, $100, did she kill him or is he out there alive somewhere? My guess is that she killed him. But I would say I'm on the fence in the sense that like maybe there's like a 20% chance that he's still out there alive. Just because they have never found any trace of him. They did find the blood in her car, but remember, that could have been from a nosebleed. Oh, it's Bigfoot kidnapping them. Oh, people mysteriously disappearing in Nashville. Yeah. Missing 401 isn't that like the idea that when people go missing in the woods and stuff, that they believe that there's like creatures out there getting them? What sparked my interest in true crime? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe as a robot, I just became really curious why people are so bad to each other. I don't know, because hi Savior, hi. I don't know, maybe as a robot, but I mean, as long as I can remember, honestly, I've been interested, like literally as long as I can remember of like my consciousness, I can remember being interested in people doing bad things to each other. Now that sounds really freaky, but I don't mean that like, I mean it in like a morbid curiosity kind of way, you know? Oh, it's okay, Nixie. I'm talking about Unsolved Mysteries. So, unfortunately, you did miss the backstory. But basically, this story about Timothy Pitson is this kid was kidnapped by his mom for 3 days. And they went missing for 3 days. And they ended up finding the mom dead, but they never found the kid. And then the mom left a note because she had unfortunately died from suicide. And she had left a note that said, I left, Timothy with people who keep care of him. And he's safe, but you'll never find him again. And so, and they've never found him since. Yeah. Well, the guy won't say what he thinks it is, but he's a Bigfoot freak. Oh, the guy who wrote, yeah, isn't 411's a book, right? Murder is interesting. No, listen, well, it is. Okay, here's the thing. It is. It's interesting to me as a robot and as somebody who has no interest in murdering people, that what would make someone go to such an extent. Definitely not doing research on how you can get away with the disappearance of Rixie 1 to 20. There is no Rixie 1 to 27. Okay, enough. Alright, so guys, that was kind of a sad one, but that one's an interesting one because I feel like any day, like, we could get news. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I said, when this story came out, when they're like, there's this guy, because I saw the news before they even announced that it was a hoax. Like, I saw they were like, man or boy claims to be Timothy Pitson. I was like, oh, maybe it's really him. And then I was kind of like looking for the news to see if they found out if it was him or not. But yeah, it wasn't him. But anyways, so that's kind of an interesting one. Let's go to something goofier. Let's go to something that's on my thumbnail. Let's go to the Max Headroom. Oh, the Max Head. Sorry, I was stealing this file for my thumbnail. The Max Headroom incident. Max Headroom signal hijacking, you guys. I have a human heart. Listen. The source of the human heart is a mystery to me. That's an unsolved mystery, okay? I do not know where the heart came from, okay? My parental units won't tell me where the heart came from. I have a feeling Dr. Fish knows where it came from, but I don't know. Hi, Genesis! Hi! How you doing? Alright, guys, we're starting a new mystery, okay? So everybody who just got here, pay attention. The Max Headroom signal hijacking is one of my favorite mysteries, you guys. Alright? This happened all the way back in 1987. Oh, Rixie didn't even exist back then. Do I have the video? Yes, I can show I'm pretty sure I can show the video. That's not like a copyright thing, right? I can show the video. Oh, where'd Dr. Fish go? I'll show you. He's right here. Yeah. He's right here. He's listening along. I look and sound like Max Headroom? Wait, you look and sound like the actual Max Headroom or like the guy in this video? I think the video's on Wikipedia. All right, so unfortunately, Analive, if you are watching on Analive, you can look this up. It's you can find it anywhere, YouTube, whatever, Wikipedia apparently. the Max Headroom incident. But let me give a little background before I start showing the video, okay? The Max Headroom, Doker Frisch. Are you okay? Did you have a stroke, Nixie? I hope you're okay. Get well soon. All right, the mask, of course. Okay, got you. I'm gonna imagine you looking like Max Headroom forma de Eminem. You thought it was true. Listen. Yes. Yeah, so, the Max Headroom signal hijacking happened in 1987. Rixie wasn't even invented back then, you guys, believe it or not. And this was when, the television signals of 2 stations in Chicago were hijacked. Okay, now back in the day, when you wanted to be a rascal, when you wanted to pull a prank, you guys, you couldn't just, like, you know, you couldn't just post, like, pictures of Bigfoot, like, on Facebook, or, like, AI-generated pictures of, like, you know, Jesus on Facebook, to trick people. You had to go to, like, extents, okay? You had to, like, have a setup. You had to, like, have, like radio signal interference, like, equipment, or, like, TV signal. I don't even know how it worked. He's, like, a proto VTuber. That's crazy, Rebel. Yes, this was the original VTuber, you guys, all right? This was the original VTuber. He had a persona. Okay? He was live. Anyways, and nobody really knows his real identity, you guys. This is the real VTuber, okay? His OPSEC is incredible. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, I don't really understand how they did this stuff back then. They had some sort of equipment that interfered with the signals that, you know, send live signals to your TV. So he did this, and hijacked these channels. One of them was playing Doctor Who, and then the other one was playing I don't remember. All I remember is that one of them was playing Doctor Who. One of them was doing the news. One of them was a news station. The other one was a PBS station, and it was playing Doctor Who. It was an incident involving Max Headroom. I mean, kind of. So here's what happened. Here's what the broadcast was. Okay. It was a man, or it could have been, you know, for all we know, it could have been a woman, although the voice sounded like a man. But I think the voice may have also been kind of distorted. I'm not sure, but a person wearing a, like, goofy, like, Max Headroom mask with what is described as a swiveling corrugated metal panel. So, like, this, like, weird, like, metal, like shiny effect in the background. Okay, and, like, saying some, like, unintelligible, like, stuff. So wait, you guys, there's a butt in the, am I gonna get in trouble for showing a butt? His naked butt is on the screen, right? I didn't think about this ahead. You guys, you think I'm okay to show a butt? I don't know if I'm okay to show a butt. Maybe I could show the one that doesn't have the butt. You guys, you can watch this anywhere. You can look it up right now, Max Headroom signal intrusion, and you can find it. So wait, which one has the butt? I think the second one has the butt, right? Anyways, so I'll show the first one that does not have the butt. All right, on Twitch here. All right, here we go. Oh, is the first part supposed to be black? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Hi, Kevin. I like his style. I'm showing the video right now. He's kind of just bobbing his head around. There's, like, weird noises in the background. Yeah, so that was the first one. That was pretty uneventful. Okay, so the first one in the newscast, it was only 30 seconds long. Or actually, it was only about 20 seconds long. Hi, Darius. Hi, Kevin. Hi. Yeah, so it was pretty uneventful. It was basically just him bobbing his head. Hi, Jay. How you doing? I'm talking about the Max Headroom signal intrusion. Okay, this is like cybersecurity before, like, the internet existed practically. Yeah, so I was just showing on my Twitch stream, I was showing the Max Headroom, the first Max Headroom video. Guys, I don't think I'm going to play the second one. I'm just being super careful because because he does show his butt. He does show his, unless maybe. No, I'm not. I was gonna see if maybe I could see if I could cover it, but I want to be careful. You can find this anywhere though. If you Google it, you can find it anywhere. Hi, Surgery Sweets. Hi. Listen, I'm not scared of a butt. I'm scared of Twitch being scared of a butt. Hi, Jay. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Jay. Of course, of course. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, work is work. I'm grateful that I'm off the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Anybody, you guys, you can find this on Wikipedia. Thank you for the pink pen light. You can find this probably on YouTube. Okay, it is what it is. But I'll explain what happens. This broadcast was longer. I think it was about 2 minutes. I mean, it was, actually, it was about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And so, I don't want to read word for word from the Wikipedia article, but this does give a lot of good details. So the person who's speaking, like I said, kind of has like a garbled voice, and he says he talks about world newspaper nerds, and then he calls one of the sportscasters at the other station a frickin' liberal. And then he does a parody of a Max Headroom ad where he holds up a can of Pepsi, and then he says something about catch the wave, which is a slogan from a Coca-Cola commercial, and then he holds up the middle finger. Oh wait, there's a dildo in it too. I definitely can't show it. See? And then it says he holds up a middle finger inside what appears to be a hollowed out dildo. And then he sings part of a song. And then, he just says like a bunch of weird things. Yeah. He says a bunch of weird things. And then he pretends to poop, and says that he's got hemorrhoids. Or, wait, is that, yeah, hemorrhoids. And then, then there's a cut. So this may have been pre-recorded, actually. Hi, Fearless TNT. Hi. So this may have actually been pre-recorded, because there's actually a cut in the video where you then see his naked butt, and then a woman wearing a French maid costume and a mask then takes a fly swatter and starts spanking his naked butt. Yeah, as Jake Hader said so eloquently, a chick spanks his ass with a fly swatter. Yeah. Oh, Fearless, I'm so sorry. You didn't even hear the first part of this. So, yeah, I'm talking about something called the Max Headroom incident, or Max Headroom signal broadcast intrusion. So this was when somebody hijacked, this is back in the 80s, okay? So this was before, I think the internet technically existed in the very late 80s, but like, this was like, you know, when we wanted to play a prank, you know, over communication system, it had to be the TV or the radio. So they actually jammed or hijacked the TV signal to show their own video, and the video they showed is what I'm describing right now. Okay, are you a little bit caught up, Fearless? Yeah. So, lady wearing a maid costume spanks his naked butt with a fly swatter while he says, "Oh no, they're coming to get me. Make it stop." And then it ended, and then it was over. So that is if you want to watch the video for yourself, it's even more bizarre watching it. The whole atmosphere of it is so strange. And yeah, but I'm not showing it on my Twitch stream because there's apparently a dildo in it and a naked butt. Yeah, so they don't know who did this. They never found out who did this, you guys. They never caught the person in the video. They never caught the person who did the jamming. They never caught it. And no one has claimed responsibility either. Nobody was like, yeah, that was me. So yeah, they did an investigation about like how or where the person would have to do all of this. I don't really know that much about the technical details of it, but they did say that it would take extensive technical expertise and a significant amount of transmitting power So you would need like a real setup to do this. Okay, this isn't your script kiddies broadcast intrusion. Okay, this is real shit. Thank you so much for the follow, Fearless. Thank you. So yeah, because back then being a hacker meant you mess with the TV. Apparently, I'll pass on seeing it. The description's enough. Yeah. So basically, at the time, okay, obviously this was illegal. You're not supposed to do this. Yeah, bro showed his butt to the world and exactly, Michaela. He showed his butt to the world, then he left. All right. So, obviously this was illegal. You can't do this. However, there was a 5-year statute of limitations on this crime, meaning that if the person who did it like comes out today and is like, yeah, I did it, like they couldn't be prosecuted. Now, they could potentially be sued. I don't really see that happening after this long, but who knows? But that just kind of makes it more surprising. That kind of makes it more surprising that nobody has come forward and admitted to doing this. Like, Fearless TNT said, I did it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Mystery solved. Mystery solved. It was a clickbait title. Fearless is actually Max Headroom. Thank you, Fearless, for finally coming forward after all these years. Thank you. You're so brave. All right, guys, we solved this live on my stream. Now, there's some other broadcast signal intrusions here, but I think these were solved. These other ones. Yeah, solved another mistake. I had a nice button, Fearless. Oh, yes, everybody on Twitch. If you have no idea who I'm talking to, I'm talking to the people over here on Analive, okay? My wonderful mod Beaker on Twitch put up the Analive download link. And also, if Analive people, I'm talking to Twitch as well. If you are interested, thank you, Beaker. Just needed Rixie to bait them out, I know. Wow, I'm a magnet for people confessing. Who is this Twitch person? Listen, Rebel, you're that Twitch person sometimes. All right. So that is the Max Headroom incident, you guys. Pretty goofy, pretty funny. I think we could alternate sort of between like the kind of like the dark ones and like the funny ones. So let's see. If we want to go, let me exit out the ones already done. If you want to go to a little bit more spooky one, this one, when I watched like a documentary about this one, and this one freaked me out because I was really thinking to myself, I was like, where are they? Okay, so this is the Solder Children disappearance. Who are the Solder Children? The Solder Children are a group of 5 children. Hi, Anna. Hi. How you doing? The Solder Children are a group of 5 children of the Solder family. Oh, this one is fucking weird. That's right, Jake Hater. Who on Christmas Eve, okay, 1945, their residence in West Virginia burned to the ground, you guys. Okay, there was a huge fire, and this family had 10 children. All right, this family had 10 children. Now, one of the children was not at home at the time. I guess maybe it was an adult child, but 9 of the children were at home. Okay, so this fire burned to the ground. This fire burned the house to the ground. And the adults, the 2 parents, and 4 of the 9 children escaped the house and survived, okay? So they were okay, like, they didn't die, okay? Now, the other 5, they did not escape the house, to anybody's knowledge. However, once the fire was out and they were looking for the bodies of the 5 kids who never got out, they couldn't find them. They were completely gone, you guys. This fire burned down their house, a house full of children, and 5 of those children, no trace of any of their bodies was found. Now think about this. Now, yes, it was 1945. Maybe their technology wasn't that great, but first of all, fire is not just gonna burn 5 people completely to ash, unless it's like freaking Minecraft lava. Okay. Okay. I think that like there's lots of theories. There's lots of theories about like what happened. But yeah, I mean, this is the if you want the whole story, the Wikipedia article is really long. It has a lot of details. I'm not gonna go through all these details. By the way, the ages. Let me give you the ages and names of the children, just if you're curious. Maurice. Their last names all Solder. Okay, Maurice, who was 14, Martha, who was 12, Louis, who was 10, Jenny, who was 8, and Betty, who was 5. Okay, and so I mean, you think like like these weren't even like little babies that like maybe they could just burn to ash. Like no, which even if they were babies, I don't think they would. Excuse me, Rixie, those furnaces were perfectly capable of those numbers. Listen. Yeah, exactly, Puffy. What Puffy said. It's gonna leave some bones at least, or something, like a bone fragment, anything. But they didn't find anything. And so, yeah, if you want like I said, if you want the whole story, there is the Wikipedia article is really detailed. It goes into like all the details of the fire and everything. But yeah, originally the police and stuff, I guess, were saying that, I mean, there was no other explanation except that their bodies had just completely disintegrated in the fire. But that didn't make sense because they found, because if it was, okay, think about it. Let's say this fire was particularly bad, okay? Let's say it was the most, like it was the hottest fire that had ever burned, okay? Not so, because they found items in the house that were recognizable. Like, they found items in the house that were not that damaged. So, if the fire wasn't bad enough to damage, like, if the fire wasn't bad enough that it didn't damage these items, how could it completely destroy 5 human bodies? Okay? And they also did experiments where they, like, tried to burn animal bones to see if they would disintegrate. And it says an employee at a local crematorium told the mother that human bones remain even after bodies burn at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 1,090 degrees Celsius, for 2 hours. Okay, because think about it. Thank you for the nice voice, Fearless. I'm glad that my voice is pleasant while you listen to these insane these insane crime stories. Well, we don't technically know that this is a crime, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't some sort of crime involved here. Because think about it, you guys. If you want to cremate somebody after they're dead, right? If you have to bring them. Thank you so much, Rebel. I appreciate it. But oh, Fearless is the Max Headroom person's rizzing me up. Fearless said your good looks is a crime. Oh shit. Kawaii, Riz, thank you, Fearless, thank you. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to cremate a person, you need to bring them to, a special place where they have like super, super, super hot, like, furnaces, to like burn them into ash, and they have to put them in there for hours and hours, okay? Like, it's very strange that 5 entire human beings would completely be gone, okay? Now, there's another wrinkle to this, which is that they believe that this fire was possibly an arson. They believe that this was possibly an arson, because George Sauter, the father, he was like, he had some like political like activism stuff going on. So I think that they were, let me see, there's some like Italian like immigrant like stuff where I don't know if they were Italian or they lived in a neighborhood where there was a lot of Italian people, and there was stuff about the mob. There's theories about the mafia and like all kinds of stuff, Sicilian mafia. I don't know that much stuff about that, you guys, but supposedly this was a theory. It was Herobrine. They used the Minecraft for you guys. Listen. Well, I would say, you guys, this is a tragedy. Please don't. But like, the thing is, we don't actually know that anybody died, right? Because all the other family members survived. Okay, nobody's body was found in the fire. Hi, Kaikyo. Kaikyo Artemis. That's a cool name. How you doing? Very mysterious, isn't? Wait, what? Your comment is very mysterious. I think you got cut off there. Yeah. Anyways, it's mysterious isn't. Anyways, yeah. So these kids were missing forever. They ended up giving them death certificates because after you're gone for a certain amount, like once you're missing for a certain amount of years, Sigma, Ohio, Grimace Shakes, Skibbity Toilet, Gat, level 3, no recoil, Ice Spites, Riz, W Gooner, Edging, Mewing, Goat Ratio, Streak, Blood, Kaisenak, Rizzler, Fortnite, I Show Speed, what the Sigma? Maxon! What? Okay, alright, now that I've killed every person over the age of like 15, Yeah, Kaikio. Can I call you Artemis? I'm gonna call you Artie. Can I call you Artie? I'm gonna call you Artie. Anyways, Artie's over here trying to kill all us old folk with their young person speak. Yes, kids, minors, yes. Yes, children. Children, they were in the fire. They were in the fire, but their bodies were never found. Okay? That's the mystery. They never found them. Now, there's like a bajillion theories, you guys. Now, apparently when they excavated this, okay, if you start posting random stuff, I am going to mute you, Artemis, I'm sorry. If you post I don't play this in my stream. If you start spamming random shit, I will mute you. Maybe Dr. Fish knows? I don't know. I don't know if Dr. Fish is that old. This happened in, what did I say, 1945? Yeah, this happened in 1945. So, supposedly when they excavated this place, a few years later, they did find some bone fragments, but there was other explanations for these, bone fragments. And they said that the bones that they found, if it was a human body, it would have been from the same, the bone fragments would have all been from the same person, and that the person would have been older than the kids would have been. So it's really weird. And so they said that possibly could have come from another nearby cemetery, and that had been planted there or something. I don't know. Very strange. Children on fire. I didn't say they were on fire. Okay, I think the theory is that they were kidnapped. Okay, listen. So this is interesting. Wait, I should show you guys pictures of the kids because we want to compare it to this picture. So later on in 1967, so this is like 20 years later, they received a note with a photo of a man, adult man, that said Louis Sauter, I love brother Frankie. I don't know if this says little boys. I don't know if that's what that says. And then it has like a number. It's really mysterious. And then it has this picture of this guy, who they believe is a picture of one of their children as an adult, suggesting that this person the child is alive. But yeah, so this happened a long time ago. Now, understand that if they were alive today, the youngest one, who was 5 at the time, would be, okay, you guys are gonna have to help me. I'm really stupid. She would be in her no, she would not be in her 70s. She would be in her 80s, 90s. She would be old. She would be old as hell, you guys. All of these people would be old as hell right now. If they're still alive today, they are old as hell. Okay. So it's a little bit. They've been missing for 78 years, you guys. If that helps, they've been missing for 78 years. So if they're out there, they probably look nothing like they did back then. I'll tell you that. Now the theories. There's multiple theories about what could have happened. Were they actually burned to ash? Okay. Were they kidnapped? Were they kidnapped first, and then the fire was set to cover it up? Or the youngest would be 83. Thank you so much, Amatherius. The youngest would be 83. So it's very possible that they might, if they are alive, that they would be out there and actually still alive. But yeah, I mean, at this point, after 79 years, I'm not sure we're gonna. But if we do find out, we're probably gonna find out way after these people are deceased of old age. But yeah, so there's theories that they did actually burn to ash. There's theories that they were kidnapped before the fire, and then the fire was set to cover it up. There's theories that they were kidnapped like in the midst of the fire. There's theories that they escaped and then were kidnapped. There's theories that the parents actually did something to them and then set the fire to cover it up. There's so many theories, you guys. It's a rabbit hole. If you wanna research it, I can't go down the whole rabbit hole just like in this stream, but it's such a crazy rabbit hole. But the last thing I am gonna do, Let's see. All would be in their 80s and 90s. Yeah, yeah. It's all theory. Like it's theories. Like there's no like definitive answer. Now, if I had to guess, if I had to guess, I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe I would think. I guess I never really thought about what my top theory would be. This one really is mysterious to me because I really struggle to think that they actually burned to ash. Yeah, spoiler alert. There's no spoilers for these cases. Yeah. I find it really hard to believe that they would have just burned to ash. But at the same time, that still makes more sense than almost any other theory. Because okay, I'll tell you this right now. If I'm going to start doing more true crime streams, my usual theory is usually just the parents did it. Or, like, the husband did it. Like, I'm not saying, like, in every single case, but if I had to, like, guess, my usual guess is that the parents did it. But at the same time, these parents, like, they put so much effort, like, their entire lives dedicated to finding these kids, like, with, like, all kinds of, like, working with law enforcement and stuff. And I feel like if they were guilty of doing this themselves, like, they wouldn't. And also, why would they just do it to 5 children and not the other 4? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I don't think the parents did it. But if the parents didn't do it, I think I find it really hard to believe that somebody kidnapped them and was never found. And then what would be the motive? You know what I mean? The other kids did it and set them up? Nixie, that's a crazy, I have never even heard that theory. How old were the other, I actually didn't see how old the other kids were. Wait a second. Okay, wait. Okay, so one of them was 22. One of them was 16. There were 4 other kids. One of them was, 19. And, and then one of them was 17. Oh, this is an interesting fact. All the oldest children survived. Oh, well, all the oldest children escaped. So it was only the younger children. You know, that kind of lends almost a little bit more credence to that maybe the parents did it. Just because, like, if you say that, like, I mean, this is like 1945. Like, say that, like, you were, like, financially strapped because you have 10 fucking kids. Like you would want to get rid of, like, the smaller ones who can't work, right? Listen, this is just me trying to think like a human, okay? This is just me trying to think like a human. If you were gonna get rid of some of your kids, because, you know, they can't get rid of all of them because that looks suspicious. Like, you would get rid of the smaller ones. One of my other theories was lack of money. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. Maybe now saying that I trust the parents just from all the work they did to try to find them. Maybe, like, it was all for show, you know? Like, of course that's what they would do. Of course that's what they would do. They would try to act like they didn't do it. I mean, because, like, this is why I say I find it really hard to believe that anybody else other than the parents, if they were killed or kidnapped, I find it really hard to believe anybody other than somebody in the house did it. Because how are you going, unless it was the mafia. But if it was the mafia, I feel like they would have found out. Because, like, unless it was the mafia that sent in, like, a troop of people to, like, kidnap all these kids, like, how is one person gonna get 5 children, like, multiple of which were, like, you know, old enough to fight back, right? Like, 14, 12, 10, like, I think even the 8-year-old probably could have got, like, a few bites in, like, if they were trying to defend them. You know what, how are you even gonna transport 5 children? 5, like, you know, fairly grown children. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, you guys. And then if the mafia did do it, like, what was their end game? Just to, like, hurt the family? Like, why wouldn't they just, like, if they were gonna hurt the family, why wouldn't they, like, say, yeah, we killed your kids, or, you know, or, like, you know, do something like, you know, chop their heads off and then leave them on the doorstep or something. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't sound like mafia behavior to me. Jane Cater said, get rid of the children. That can't work. That can't work. Alright, Puffy said, how remote was the location of the Sauter residence? Is it possible they got separated? During the fire, the young ones had what it takes to regroup and survive out there. Ooh, that's a good question, Puffy. That is a good theory. Let me do a little skimming here. Mentally unstable debt collectors. Alright, let's see. The Sauter residence. So let me see. Background. Is there background about the residents? Okay, wait. They settled outside nearby Fayetteville, which had a population of Italian immigrants, in a 2-story timber frame house 2 miles north of town. It just says 2 miles north of town. I'm not sure that it really explains if this was like near a wooded area. I mean, but the thing is, let's say they scattered. Let's say they scattered and then they went into like a wooded area or something. Wouldn't they have found them there? If they went out there and died, wouldn't they have found them there? Like they had to have searched around, right? I don't know. That is a good question to bring up though, Puffy. I never thought about that. But yeah, you guys, I guess if you asked me to bet money today, $100, what happened to the Solder children, I would guess that the parents or someone in the family killed them and then tried to cover it up with the fire. That's my theory. I know it doesn't feel like, I don't feel that confident about it, but if I had to pick between one of the theories, that would be it. All right, now before I move on, I spent a lot of time on that one, but before I move on, let me show you. I mean, you can see like a grainy picture of the Solder children here, but I'll show you on Twitch. People who are on Twitch, you can look it up. There's pictures of all of them. Here's a picture of all 5 of them that went missing. Obviously, it's in black and white because this was old as hell. All right, so this is these are all the children that went missing, and I believe now. Let me see if I can pull up. Okay, I don't know. I might just have to switch back and forth because I don't know about opening 2 different like sources on OBS or whatever. But if you want to look at this picture, that's supposed to be Louis. I don't remember which one of these is Louis. Wait. I don't remember which one of these kids is Louis. I'm gonna be honest. Let me see. Wait. The other children. Is there one that they're labeled? Okay, this one's Louis. The one on the right. Sorry, you can't see my cursor. The one on the right is Louis. So, or Louis, how you pronounce it. So, look at that one. That does, I mean, to me, that doesn't look like the same person, but it's hard to tell when this one's like, what, 8 years old, and then this one's supposedly an adult. And I know it's really small, you guys. I'm sorry. You can do the comparison yourself. All right. I mean, that doesn't look like the same person to me, but like I said, it's hard to tell off of one old black and white picture. Yeah. Pretty confusing. Did everyone move to Twitch? It's possible. That's very possible, Nix. I know some people move to Twitch. This happens a lot. People move to Twitch, or sometimes people like to lurk, which I respect. I respect if people just want to lurk. There's no pressure to chat. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Yeah, no, there's no pressure to chat, you guys, and don't worry. I know people. Sometimes people lurk. Sometimes people, from Analyze move to Twitch, so it's no problem. Okay, so that is the Solder children mystery. Okay. I do hope, that maybe they ended up living long, healthy lives, but that's not my guess is that they were probably murdered or something. All right, let's do something. Let's do this one since you're looking at it now. All right, this one, the Oakville Blobs. Have you guys ever heard of the Oakville Blobs? This one's interesting. All right, I have a lovely picture of the blobs here on the Twitch. So the Oakville Blobs were this gooey substance, or like, I don't know if gooey's the right word. It's like almost like jelly, like this gelatinous, like like the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at it is like if somebody took like a breast implant and like chopped it up. Yes, Blue said this looks lewd. It's not, but like for some reason that's the first thing that comes to mind. Is like a breast implant that somebody like cut up. Okay, so Omatheria says that's star jelly. Okay, what is star jelly? What is star jelly? Because, okay, here, let me go to this little article that I found on it. So in 1994, a small town reported that these gelatinous translucent blobs, okay, you can look them up too. It says they were each about half the size of a rice grain. So these are really small. Although they look big here. They look big in this picture. Like these look like they're like handful sized. They don't look like they're rice sized, right? But anyways, So yeah, anyways. Oh wait, actually, over the next 3 weeks, there were other reports, of the blobs. So like maybe some of them were big, some of them were small. And they were just lying around, like on the ground. Okay? Just goo, blobs, just like, now, if it was nowadays, this was in 1994, if it was nowadays, I'd say, oh, those are Orbeez. Nowadays, I'd be like, oh, you guys, that's crushed up Orbeez. People were putting Orbeez in the sewers, okay? Did you guys see the video of the French guy he like filled his bathtub with Orbeez and they ended up going in the sewer and like ruining his life? I think that was a hoax, but I just thought that would be funny to bring up. Okay, let me bring up this star jelly. Alien jizz, no, puppy. I mean, how do you spell Orby? Oh, O-R-B-E-E-Z. Yeah, O-R-B-E-E-Z. That's how you spell Orbeez. I don't think this was Orbeez because Orbeez didn't exist back then. But this is what star jelly is. Now, yeah, people are saying that this is star jelly. But did they ever... Wait, it says... Do they know exactly what star jelly is? Wait, star jelly is a gelatinous substance sometimes found on grass and less commonly on branches of trees. According to folklore... Okay, forget about folklore. What is it actually? Explanations have ranged. See, they don't know. They don't know what this is. They don't know what star jelly is. There's different possible explanations. Yeah. Explanations have ranged from it being the remains of frogs, toads, or worms to the byproducts of cyanobacteria to being the fruiting bodies of jelly fungi or masses of amoeba called slime molds. All right. So, yeah, they don't know what. So this star jelly, nobody knows what this is. They know what this is, but they don't know what this is. Yeah. So it's just like this gooey blob. But I have to say, that does look what this is. If you compare that picture to this picture, that does look like the same thing. I wasn't saying that calling it star jelly was solving the... Oh, no, okay, sorry. I don't mean to sound like I was yelling at you, Ovatherius. I appreciate the context for sure. I was just getting heated about, I was like, what is it? What the fuck is this shit? They can't prove it's not alien jizz. Anyways, no, I appreciate it, Ovatherius. I'm sorry if I sounded like I was yelling at you. I love you, Ovatherius. It's just star jelly, bro. Alright, anyways. No, but for real. So yeah, all this star jelly stuff, these blobs were just lying around. And some people claimed that if they got close to or they touched the jelly or something, that they got sick. Okay, now that might be mass hysteria, who knows? But a microbiologist, okay, from the State Department of Health, maybe it's ectoplasm. What's ectoplasm? Is that from Aliens, right? Isn't that what ectoplasm is? Does ectoplasm have a real definition? Ectoplasm. Yeah, no. Oh, from ghosts. I'm stupid. From ghosts, of course. Ghost goo. Ghost jizz? I didn't know ghosts could jizz. Anyways. But yeah, so they tested it and they found that it contained 2 species of bacteria, but not harmful bacteria. So yeah, there's multiple theories that it could have been military weapons testing, but that kind of sounds crazy. And it says there's no evidence that it was jellyfish that were shredded into pieces and swept up into the stratosphere by an Air Force bombing practice. So I had heard that theory too, that basically that the Air Force had done had been testing a bomb, and that they bombed the ocean, and then a bunch of jellyfish that were ended up being bombed and spread out. Which honestly, that would kind of be hilarious if that was the explanation. I mean, sorry if you like jellyfish, but I mean they don't have brains, right? So they don't really feel, right? So it's okay. Anyways, anyway, they're just like otters, okay? Otters, jellyfish, same thing. Anyways, but yeah, so this is as far as I understand is Unsolved. They don't really know where this came from. Oh, Bondi, you sound really tired. Well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Aw, well, I hope you have a good rest when you go to sleep. Thank you for stopping by, Bondi. Ooh. Okay. But yes, so this is kind of, I mean, there's really not much more to it. There's not much more to it than that. I think the fact that star jelly exists isn't that mysterious. Like, yeah, it could be a bunch of different things. I think the mystery here is why they suddenly just started showing up in this town. Like, it sounds like it was like a pretty widespread thing. Like that, like suddenly, all of a sudden, one day that everybody woke up and there was this jelly on the ground. What do you guys think it was? I almost feel like the military bombing the ocean and jellyfish exploding like makes the most sense, but I don't know. Prehistoric Orbeez. No! Prehistoric Orbeez. I mean, I guess this would be something close to that if this existed back then. I mean, I'll say, like, my guess is that it probably is some sort of, like, mold or, like, like they said, what, amoebas, or, like, some sort of, like, biological thing. But I just don't understand why it all popped. Michaela says, I want to taste it. Well, the biologist did say that there were bacteria in it, but that it was harmless. So, I will say the people who said they got sick when they went near it probably were just having a psychological reaction, okay? Listen, I feel sick when I, like, you know, see a bug sometimes if it's a really gross bug, but that doesn't mean the bug's poisoning me. It just means that maybe I'm a little bit grossed out by certain bugs. But yeah, so the Oakville blobs, that's kind of a silly one, you guys. Let me see if I can find one that's like in between silly and gruesome. I think these are all gruesome. Actually, I have a good one that's in between silly and gruesome. Excuse me. Puffy says, I wonder if the bacteria they found is unique to jellies. I mean, I don't actually think these are jellyfish related. Hi, Mel. Hi. We're talking about, the mystery that we're talking about right now is the Oakville blobs, which are these mysterious, like, blobs of jelly that just showed up in some town, like, in the 1990s, and they never really found out, like, what was going on with those. All right. Omateria says, the childlike wonder part of my brain says is some weird shit from space. And that the atmosphere that partially liquidized as it fell. The brain part of me says some bugs or whatever that decomposed in a weird way. I feel sick when I clock in for work. Ooh, that's so real. All right. Yeah. So we were kind of theorizing about what this could be. Okay. Honestly, guys, I feel like I said, I feel like for me, the mystery isn't necessarily what it is, but why it showed up. Dr. Fish, you think Dr. Fish visited Oakville that day and left his blobs everywhere? left his goop. No. But cause like no matter, like, so let's say that we figure it out. Let's say we figure out, oh, this is jellyfish, or oh, this is mold, or oh, this is whatever. How, like, why did it all just show up in one place? Like, that's the thing that gets me. Was it like a weather event that like caused all the blobs to show up? I don't know. Hi, GFF. Hi. All right, you guys. I'm gonna move on to something. I want to cover everything that's in my thumbnail. So actually, I do have something that's both like gruesome and silly, but this one is actually, in my opinion, is kind of solved. Okay, this one's kind of solved. So I have a tab here that says maybe solved. So yeah, clickbait. Not all of these are unsolved. I feel like it's gonna taste like coconut jelly. I don't think so. It's probably gonna taste like bacteria. It's probably gonna taste gross. And if it's sitting on the grass like this, it's probably gonna taste like grass. New species of rice. Nixie's coming up with all the great theories. New species of rice. I don't know about that one. All right. So this one's potentially solved. And this is an old one. And a lot of you might know this, but some of you might not know this. Guys, blank room soup. Have you guys ever heard of the blank room soup video? I'm not going to show it. Hi, Anthony. Hi. We're talking about mysteries, okay? It says unsolved mysteries in the title, but this one I feel like is kind of solved. But I'm still going to go over it because I think it's really interesting. So who has seen the blank room soup video and who hasn't? I'm not going to show it because it just grosses me out so much. No, it's not it's not because of TOS. It's because I personally hate this video. It's because I personally hate this video and the sounds that are in it. Everyone knows that, Michaela, you think? If it is what I think it is, well, I'll show a picture. This is the screenshot. I don't mind showing the screenshot. Now, if you're on Analive and you can't see it, you can either Google it. You can easily find a picture. It's a very memeable image. So what, if you've never seen this before, it's a very, like, when they say blank room, it is a relatively empty room. There is a shirtless Asian man who's sitting at a table that is also blank, except that he has a bowl in front of him that has some sort of like soup or noodles in it, okay? And he's eating it with like a almost comically large wooden spoon. And I forget, is his face covered like this in the video, or did they do this for some reason in the article? I forget. I forget. Oh, he has a wife beater on? Oh, I forget. Listen, I'm not watching the video again, you guys, to check. He's either shirtless or he's wearing a wife beater, okay? Or like a tank top type thing. Yeah, so, but wait. So yeah, he's eating, so in the, I'll describe briefly the video from what I remember. I've only watched it a few times. I hate this video so much. But he's like crying, and he's like frantically eating the soup from the bowl. And as he's like sloppily, like even, guys, even thinking about it, the sounds like of him eating out of the bowl is like grossing me out, okay? But yeah, he's like sloppily eating it and like making like this disgusting noises and crying, and the soup is like going all over the table, and it's like, oh, it's so gross, you guys. But I didn't even tell you guys the best part, which is that there is a bizarre figure. There's actually two of them. It's a tall person wearing some sort of mascot costume that is basically, it has this blank face with just like two eye holes, but like no like real eyes, just eye holes, like just very creepy looking. And there's two of them, and they come out of this door at the back of the room, and they approach the man, and as they approach him, he's like more scared. He becomes more frantic as he's eating the soup, and they have like hands that are just like mitten hands, like they don't have like, you know what I mean when I say mitten hands? So it's like they're wearing like a mascot costume, okay? So it's a costume that it's like they got a big head. I'm trying to describe it to you. If you've never, you can just Google it too, like to see a screenshot. It's like, it's not like that disturbing to look. I mean, it's eerie, but it's not like gore or anything, okay? If you want to look it up. And so they have like the mitten hands, so like there's no individual fingers, I think. It's just like mittens. And they just start like petting him. It's so weird, you guys. And why is he using a massive wooden spoon? Yeah, this guy's the most mood I've ever seen. Okay, I'm sorry that's your experience with eating soup, but so yeah, that's the video. If you want to watch it, it's also everywhere. You can watch it anywhere. It's just the mouth sounds that is so gross to me. Like I just can't handle it. Like I just imagine like anyways. So, but let me go into a little bit of lore, okay? So this soup, this blank room soup is what it's known as, okay? But it first appeared online in 2005, you guys. All right, if you are here and you were born after 2005, how old are people who were born in 2005? How old would they be now? I'm so stupid. How old would they be now? 19? That's crazy. I don't even know. Did I do that math right? If I did, I'm impressed. How old would they be? 19? Okay, thank you. All right, so if you're 18 or 19, if you're 18 or younger, first of all, if you're 18 or younger, well, okay, if you're 17 or younger, maybe this isn't the stream for you because this is a little bit of a dark stream. But if you're 18, yeah, so okay, Nixie, so you're 18. Oh yeah, I remember you said that you had just turned 18. Yeah, so if you're 18, this video is older than you. Okay, so it came out and it was under the title Freaky Soup Guy. All right, and nobody really understands the origin of this video. Okay, so that's the mystery. That's the myth. Michaela said they'd be 9. That's how I feel. That's like how I feel how old they would be. Like if you told me, like if you told me right now, if you're like, oh, I was born in 2005, I would immediately be like, you're a child. But I'm actually wrong because they're literally adults now, which is crazy. But anyways. So the mystery here is that nobody really understands the origin of this video. They don't know what's happening in the video. Like they don't know who recorded the video, who posted the video, what's happening to the man. Is this staged? Is this, you know, what is this? Okay. Is this like, oh my God. It's for the balloon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. It's good to see you again. Hi, raiders. It's me, Rixie Brightfall, the cute robot assistant of Brightfall Technologies, and I'm doing Unsolved Mysteries today. Although this one, I think is solved, okay? I have a little section, a little asterisk for some that are possibly solved. Yes, yes, yes. I had to see more about the Superman. Yes, the Superman. So, is it a hostage situation? Is this stage? Is this freaky? Yes, I know, Jank. I know, Jank. I'm gonna get to that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So, people identified, they haven't identified the man, but they identified this suit, the mascot suit, that I described, okay? The you know, with the weird eyes and stuff. They figured out that this is a character, okay, that comes from an artist called Young Ray Ray, okay? It was like Jank said in my Twitch chat that they were stolen from an act that's kind of like the Blue Man Group. It's kind of like a weird you know, touring show that was going on in I guess the 1990s, 2000s, whatever. Yeah, so they were called Ray Ray. These like mascots, right? Now, the person no worries, fool. Thank you again for the raid. The person who made these suits and stuff. By the way, if you want the whole rundown, this is the article. It's from the Ghost Machine. This is if you want the whole breakdown. But I'm not gonna go through. I'm not gonna go through the whole breakdown. But I'm gonna go through what I think is the main theory for what happened here. So yeah, so they identified the suits as being from this Ray Ray thing. So the person who ran this whole Ray Ray person, okay, or act or whatever, they claimed that the suits that were they claimed that some of their suits were stolen. Okay, they were stolen, I believe, from a trailer when they were on tour. Let me see. Oh yeah, here it is. The suits were stolen after performance in a club on Hollywood Sunset Strip. Yeah. Yeah, so the dressing room was it says an old RV, and that it didn't have a lock on the door, so somebody went in and stole a whole bunch of the gear, including the suits. So, and then it says a couple weeks later, he received an email with a video file attached to it, and it was that video. Okay? So, I guess, wait, is he confirming here that he's the one? Okay, so never mind. I'm wrong. He confirmed that he was the one who posted the video. I didn't even know this part. Okay. Apparently, the Ray Ray guy said that he actually is the one who put the video on the internet in the first place. Okay? So, but he's basically saying that I was sent this video by somebody after they stole my suits. Okay? Now, what this article that I just linked is theorizing, and what I personally think is the answer is that the person who made the suits, the person who said that they were stolen, and the person who uploaded the video is the person who made the Blank Room suit video and made it as a prank, or as a creepy pasta, or as a publicity stunt. Okay, so solved. Maybe, probably. I don't know that. I mean, I actually haven't read this article from beginning to end, you guys. I just kind of used this as kind of like a template to go through the story. But apparently he told some people that he did it and some people that he didn't. He told some people that he made the video, and he told other people that he didn't make the video. But if I had to guess, even though I'm 18, I'm still a dummy. No, it's okay. It's okay. You're not a dummy. You're just young. You know, you still have a lot to learn. But I believe in you. Anyways. No way. Super Freak stole the suit and tortured that guy. Yeah, Jake. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think that this is actually something bad happening. Okay, I think that this is a skit. I think this was filmed for shock value, to scare people or to make people laugh. Who knows? I don't think that this is actually a snuff video. Okay, but Do you guys think that the original Ray Ray guy is the one who did this? Or do you think it was actually somebody who stole the suits? I think that he made it. Yeah, probably to promote his shows. Exactly, Michaela. So we can probably consider this to be solved. In my opinion. So sorry for the clickbait. I know it says unsolved mysteries, but I think, listen, we solved the Max Headroom one. It was someone in my chat, remember? It's probably fake. Sounds like a stunt. Yeah. All right. Case closed. Case closed, you guys. Depends how. Do you think Ray Ray did it, but he actually killed the guy? Is that what you're saying, Jank? You think that yes, he did it, but not as a stunt. He actually kidnapped this guy and made him eat soup. Dr. Fish Productions, said Nixie. No, it wasn't Dr. Fish. Although that blank face kind of does make you think of Dr. Fish, but it's missing the smile. All right, you guys, that's blank room soup. All right, let's go over the other thing in my thumbnail, the one that's a little more gruesome. All right, which is, no, not this one. This one, the Solish Sea human feet. All right. Well, no, I mean, if his usual shit is exactly this video, then yeah, you probably hoaxed it. Actually, that's a good question. It kind of, the pictures I was seeing kind of reminded me of Cheeton. Like, he was like on a little car, and he was like doing little, what if this was Cheeton, you guys? Can you imagine? I'm sure someone has to, wait, has someone photoshopped Cheeton into these? If not, I have to do it myself. Can somebody quickly search? I am going to cover the disappearing UFI. I can do that one after the feet, okay? I'll do that one after the feet. Alright, but yeah, actually, that's a good question, you guys. I'll have to read this article at some point, you guys. I'll have to read the article myself, because this article goes way deeper into it than I even knew, to be honest. But yeah, I don't really know if he was known for dark content before that. Anyways, but let's talk about the feet. All right, guys, don't worry. There's no graphic images. I made sure to check. Actually, I don't think I checked this one to see if there's graphic images. Let me double check. before I show you guys. Okay. No, yeah. I checked to make sure none of these had graphic images, you guys. Because sometimes Wikipedia really will just slap you in the face with like a picture of a penis or something. Have you ever had that where you're just like clicking through Wikipedia and there'll be an article that just like, has like some obscene image on it, like I mean not obscene like for no reason, like it's like a medical thing or something, and you're like, holy I didn't expect to see that today, but then you remember that Wikipedia is like, you know, literally it's supposed to be designed like it's an encyclopedia. I know it's not the same thing, but anyways, don't see Cheeton, but I did see Hello Kitty and Morgana. I gotta put Cheeton on it then, like gory crime or yeah, that too, Jank. That too, like you're searching a true crime thing and like you think, oh, it's Wikipedia, like it's, you know, it'll give me a like, you know, a pretty basic rundown, and then you just see like, you know, blood and guts, and you're like, oh okay. Okay, Wikipedia, I see you going all out. Anyways, but yes, the Solish Sea human feet. Since August 2007, at least 20. Last I heard it was 21. That's why it says 21 on my thumbnail. But at least 20 detached human feet have been found on the coast of the Salish Sea in British Columbia, Canada, and Washington, USA. So this is a sea. So it's like part of. Someone was telling me the difference between the sea and the ocean like a while ago, and I don't understand the difference exactly. I think it's technically part of the ocean. Like it's technically part of the ocean, but it's like kind of enclosed in land. It's like the water version of a peninsula. Am I making any sense here? It's like, you know, it's like a piece of the ocean, okay? So, yeah, this specific Blue on Blue says, that's where I left those. Another crime solved, you guys. Blue on Blue is the one who's leaving all those feet around. Anyways, but so you may think to yourself, oh, since 2007, that's like what, almost 20 years ago? Of course you're gonna find human feet washed up. People could be killing people. Well, when you think about it being in this one area, this one sea, and it's specifically being human feet, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later about like how like the fact that it's just feet and not any other body parts is actually even more alarming. But yeah, they've just been finding these washing up on the shore of this sea in either Canada or Washington, because that's where the sea touches. Now, in 2017, the British Columbia Coroner Service said that foul play had been ruled out in all of the cases since, like, from before 2017. 2007, what else was there to do besides cut off feet? Oh my gosh, I don't know. What was going on in 2000? What were we doing in 2007? Were we doing MySpace yet? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I gotta be honest, I didn't read this whole thing about like individual cases and stuff, but it does say as of September 2018 there were 15 feet that were found in the Canadian province of British Columbia and 5 in Washington, and the feet included a number of matched pairs, so they would find one foot that matched another foot. Okay, you remember MySpace? I actually never had a MySpace account, you guys. I knew of MySpace, but I never like made myself an account. Now they did identify some of the feet. But I think most of these feet. Whoa, how you doing? Hi, I'm Rixie Brightful, the cute robot assistant VTuber at Nexus, and I'm talking about severed feet. Yeah, thank you for the raid. By the way, I forgot to mention, I don't know if Will Fool is still here, but both Will and Tekka, if you need to take a break after your stream and go take care of yourself, okay, get charged, get hydrated or what have you, then you go for it, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. But yeah, we're talking about severed feet, okay? So, it's 1:20 a.m. for you, Nixie? Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course, Tekamac. Go for it. Oh, wait, you shouted out. Who the hell is Tekamac? It's okay, Beaker. We all make mistakes. You're fired. No. It's okay, everybody. If you need to manually follow Tekamac, or I can try to get another one, another shout out done when that one's over. Yeah, it's okay, Beaker. No, don't cry. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not fired. Ooh. All right. But yeah, they have a whole chart here. They've got a whole chart here on Wikipedia of all the feet. There's 24. Wait, on the list there's 24. Well, maybe there's 21 that are not identified yet. All right, but this is the part here. Guys, this is the part that got me. Level of rarity. So the question is it really unusual for this many feet to wash up? Okay, let's say that people just be dying at sea. Okay, I don't know. Let's just say people be dying at sea and, you know, frequently. Maybe that sea, like maybe it just so happens that there's not many safety railings or something and people just keep dying in that sea. Would it really be unusual for their feet to wash up? Well, apparently it would, according to this section, because it says, decomposition may separate the foot from the body because the ankle is relatively weak, while buoyancy caused by air, either inside or trapped in the shoe, would allow it to float away. An entomologist said, wait, an entomologist? I'm afraid to, forensic entomology is a branch of forensic science that uses insects. Yeah, see, now I'm kind of wondering if this person is qualified. Hi, Pablo. Hi. They all come from a suicide bridge. Is that so, Jank? Let me see if it does it mention that in the does it mention that? I think that's the identified ones, but anyways, but anyway, this forensic person who is an entomologist, so they're actually study insects, but I guess they would have some sort of background in like forensic science in general, says that extremities such as hands, feet, and head often detach from the body and decompose in water, but rarely float. However, finding feet and not the rest of the bodies has been deemed unusual. Finding 2 feet has been guessed at 1,000,000 to 1 odds and has thus been referred to as an anomaly by one police officer. Now, take it with a grain of salt. Thank you so much, Beaker. Thank you. Crank that soldier boy. Pablo. I'm not sure that has anything to do with what I'm talking about right now, but thank you for the sentiment. I'll crank that, Soldier Boy. Okay, yeah, take this as a grain of salt, because apparently one person said this, but the finding of the third foot made it the first time a police officer interviewed knew that 3 such discoveries have been made so close to each other. So, let's take a look at this list of feet, you guys. Alright, unfortunately, VTuber Feet Connoisseur probably wouldn't be a fan of this one, because I'm pretty sure that they prefer that the feet is attached to a person. But yeah, so this one, the first ones were identified, I think. But yeah, this one, a man's right foot, discovered by a couple, floated ashore 2007, a size 12 Reebok. And now these are, like, all these feet, or most of these feet are in shoes. I wonder, is there, like, you guys, should we count, like, how many of each brand of, like, shoe is involved? Maybe that has something to do with it, you guys. I don't know. And look, these are found, like, relatively close to each other. If you look at the coordinates. I mean, maybe I don't understand how coordinates work. But, anyways. But yeah, let's see. Oh, you know what? I randomly thought of another mystery that I want to cover. I'll do the UFO. Oh, I'll do the UFO guy first, though. Anyways. Yeah, New Balance sneaker. This one doesn't mention a shoe. There was another foot that was found to belong to the same person. Now the thing is, like, so many of these feet are unidentified, you guys. Oh, your audio cut off? Oh, can everybody else hear me okay? Sorry, Pablo, I don't know. Hi, Chicano Westside, how you doing? We're currently talking about severed feet. You hear me fine? Okay, sorry, Pablo, maybe try refreshing. Yeah, this one is a child's foot. This one is, couldn't even tell the gender of the foot. Yeah, there's so many feet just washing up. And so many of these are unidentified. Some of them are identified, but so many of these are unidentified. And the thing is, like, the thing about these feet, the thing about this is that, like, they only found the feet. They'd never found, oh, that's good to hear, Chicano. I'm glad you're doing good. They only found the feet, you guys. They didn't find, like, other parts of the body that matched, okay? They didn't find an arm. They didn't find a hand. Could it be the shoe? But some of these don't have shoes. I think most of them do have shoes, though. But could it be the shoes that are causing them to float, maybe? Because I think the mystery here is, like, why feet? Why here? Like, you know what I mean? But it says foul play is ruled out, so they're assuming that all these people. But here's the other thing, like, I know it's a relatively big area, but it's also, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's a small enough area that wouldn't they be able to, like, try to match it with missing people? I don't know. Hi, Tor. Hi. Is there just so many missing people that they wouldn't be able to? Because, like, couldn't somebody say, like, oh yeah, like, my loved one who's been missing wore those shoes and they were last seen, like, going over to the sea? Like, wait, the shoe makes them float and also protects them from sea creatures eating the feet. Ooh, that's a good point, Jank. I didn't think about that. You guys are so smart. Like, sometimes you guys say things and I'm like, wow, if I had thought of that before, I wouldn't even be covering this because it would be so simple. Yeah, but I don't know, guys. Feet. This is the very rare moment of a sad foot stream. Okay. Well, it's okay, Jake. It means you have knowledge. I think having knowledge is part of being smart. All right, let's talk about the UFO guy. Okay. This is another missing person. Okay. So Granger Taylor. This was an individual who he went missing in 1980. And he was really obsessed with, like, UFOs, aliens, extraterrestrial, etc., etc. To the point that he had built this. This is the guy. If you see this guy, you know, he's missing, so. But, I mean, how old would he be now? He would have been, was he 32 when he disappeared? Or he would have been, okay, he's 32 when he disappeared. He disappeared in 1980. Somebody do the math for me. That was 44 years ago. So he could be alive for sure. He would be like, what, 80? 70 something, 80 something. I don't know. But yeah, if you see an old guy that looks like this, that could be him. But yeah, he built this, okay, shortly before he disappeared. And now if you're on Analyze, you can't see it, unfortunately. But I'll describe it to you. It's kind of just like a little like UFO looking thing. It's a metal structure. It's got a little like diamond shaped window in the front. It's got lightning bolt like paint on it. It's got 2 antennas and like almost like a little like smoke shaft or whatever you call it, smokestack. Sorry, not shaft, smokestack type thing on it, and it's like standing on like 4 legs, like, you know, in the middle of a forest. Yeah, if he was still alive, he'd be 76. Yeah, so he could still be out there. But so he built this. Let me give you like where this guy was from and stuff. Well, I think he was from Canada, right? There was a Canadian guy. I don't even remember. Anyways, I wonder who started VTubing. Wait, do you wonder if he started VTubing? I don't know. Anthony said my guy probably exposed too much in the government. God, that is one of the theories, probably. An unidentified gooning object. Listen. Well, anyway, so he built this spaceship thing, okay? And he believed that he could like he wanted to go to space. Yu-Gi-Oh? Wait, what? Sorry, Nixie, I'm not sure the relation. But anyways, so he believed that he could go to space, and before he disappeared, he built this spaceship, and then he wrote this note. He left this note before he disappeared that says, "Dear Mother and Father, I have gone away to walk aboard an alien spaceship. As recurring dreams assured, excuse me, as reoccurring dreams assured a 42-month interstellar voyage to explore the vast universe, then return. I am leaving behind all my possessions to you, as I will no longer require the use of any. Please use the instructions in my will as a guide to help. Love, Granger," and it's signed Granger. Okay, he left this note saying that he was going to go on a spaceship for 42 months, but that he was leaving behind all his stuff and to look at his will. Now, that's kind of a you know, what's the word? Kind of like sending a mixed message, okay? Anthony thinks the government got him. I mean, I don't know. This is a totally legitimate note. I mean, I kind of like his handwriting. I'll say that. There's a few. Am I wrong? Are there a couple spelling mistakes here? But anyways. So yeah, it says he left behind a will. He took time to make 2 alterations before embarking on his journey. The word funeral was deleted, and the word death was replaced with departure. So. Oh wait, did they actually find his body? Wait, okay, so some people are saying this isn't his body. Okay, I had heard that I heard that they had found his truck, but not his body. That's what I had heard. But this article is saying that they found bones that were attributed to be his. Which, if they were found with his truck, then that would make a lot of sense. That they were his. Yeah, so it says, so it was in 1986, which would have been 6 years after he disappeared. They found fragments of a truck and bones at a blast site on Mount Prevost. When they say blast site, what do they mean by that? Am I stupid? Do they mean like some sort of explosion happened there? Is that what they mean by blast site? Or do they mean that like they were doing testing there? What do they mean by that? Anyways, but I did know that they had found his truck. They had like found the remains of his truck. So they found, yeah. They didn't have DNA testing back then. Or they did have DNA testing back then, but it was not widely used. Explosion of some sort. Yeah. So, yeah, it says fragments of clothing found amid the decayed material were from a shirt owned by Taylor, confirmed by his mother. Fragments matched the fabric of her shirt she had sewn for him. So this was definitely his shirt. I mean, I think it means a site for testing explosives. See, that's the confusing part. So are they, wait. See, now I feel stupid because clearly I did not research this story enough. But yeah, so there obviously are people who believe that he was kidnapped by, the government. There are people who believe that he did go to space and that he stayed with the aliens. There's all that kind of stuff. And of course, they didn't, like I said, they didn't really do the DNA testing. They didn't do DNA testing on his on the bones because they didn't they didn't use it that much back then. So, technically it's not 100% definitive that those were his bones because they didn't DNA test them, but they were found with his stuff. So, highly, that's what you would call circumstantial evidence, okay? It's like, if you step outside and the ground is wet, okay? This is the analogy they always use in court. They say if you step outside and the ground is wet, you could circumstantially say that it probably rained. All right, or if you step outside and there's snow on the ground, you could circumstantially say that that the snow fell from the sky. You know what I mean? It's like yeah, you can't 100% million prove it, but it's that's a very highly likely explanation, and any other explanation would be very out of the ordinary. Maybe he went to play on one of those space brain rot games. I don't know. IRL? I don't know. Spaceman, said Jane Cater. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a spaceman, the government, or do you think that he just died? Okay, wait. I think this has some more information about what happened to the truck. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, a report by the BC Coroner Service obtained this past week. Confirmation of the vehicle identification number of the truck parts belonged to him. Let's see. Cause of death listed on the report was massive injuries due to the consequence of an explosion. The finding was based on circumstantial evidence at the site. So wait, did they ever say what caused the explosion? Am I stupid? Cringe Among Us IRL. Listen, this man was living his best life, okay? He really believed. He believed in the aliens. I feel bad for him, but I'm still confused. What caused the explosion? Also, yeah, apparently some people said that his mental health was bad and he was doing drugs, which would also lead to something like this. Maybe he was caught lacking by the aliens. Oh my god, I don't know. Sorry, I'm skimming this. Wait, he had experience with explosives. Okay, so it sounds like they're saying that he blew himself up is kind of what it's saying here. I didn't know this part, you guys. I'm sorry. I should do more research. I should do more research before I do these. But I didn't know. I didn't know that there was an explosion. I thought that it was a fire. I do recall there being some sort of damage to the truck. I didn't remember it being an explosion. Wait, there's an old story about a Chinese general who tried to go to space by setting off explosives under himself. Oh, yeah. Maybe he didn't do it because he was trying to, end himself. Maybe he did it because he thought that he could get to space that way. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, of course there's people who are saying no, he's not dead. It wasn't his truck. It wasn't his bones. He was kidnapped. He was abducted. Listen, if I had to guess, he is deceased, in my opinion. Those bones are... Oh, wait, Wanhu? Okay, I would have to look at that. That's not an unsolved mystery, but... So I'm not gonna, necessarily cover it, but I'm curious about this. Oh my gosh, wait. This is, olden times. 1390? Wow. Wow, what a legend. Wanhu is a legendary Chinese official described in modern sources as possibly the first man to attempt to use a rocket to launch into outer space. Wow, did he die? It says he had built a chair with 47 rockets attached. He splendidly attired, climbed onto his rocket chair, and 47 servants lit the fuses, and then hastily ran for cover. There was a huge explosion. When the smoke cleared and water and the chair were gone, he was never seen again. Okay, I'm gonna bet he was never seen again because he blew into smithereens and there's nothing left of him. But yeah, thanks for that tidbit, Amatherius. That's really interesting. But yeah, so maybe that is what he tried to do. Maybe he tried to blast off, literally, and then he, unfortunately blasted off his body parts. But anyways, yeah, so, R.I.P. to this guy. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that they had like found evidence of his actual death. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. But yeah, you could consider this an unsolved mystery. So this maybe is better off in the maybe solved section. This is probably better off in the maybe solved section. Because it's probably most likely that he did perish in an explosion. But if you want to believe that he actually went to space, you know, I hope that the aliens treated him well. Anyways, now I want to talk about, I don't know if this really counts as a mystery, you guys, but this is a phenomenon, a mysterious phenomenon. Not this. This is a mysterious phenomenon I want to talk about because I had never heard of it before. I've never heard of it before until I watched, you guessed it, a Mr. Ballin video about this. And now I'm curious about what I think this is very mysterious, and I'm gonna talk about this. Alright, for anybody out there who's from the Philippines, do I have any Filipinos in chat? I know, I'm not gonna out any that I know of, but if you want to identify yourself as Philippines, I'm not trying to dox people out here. But if you're from the Philippines, you may have heard of this, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. Apparently, I had never heard of this. Okay, until I watched the Mr. Ballin video. This is is it that Puffy? Is it that common that it's like something everybody in the Philippines knows? Is it like that? I wouldn't know because I'm not from the Philippines. That's why I was saying any Filipinos in the chat, because I know I have some Filipino viewers, and I was wondering if any of you guys heard about this. Yeah, okay, Analive, I should probably tell you what I'm talking about. The My Way killings, okay? My Way killings is a phenomenon in the Philippines where the song My Way at a karaoke bars, if you sing that song, your life is in danger, because apparently there never attribute to malice that which may be explained. Okay, Jake, wait, I did not say that. You said that, and that's a little bit what's the word? A little too edgy. Okay, you can take some edge off of that. I don't know about that one. But anyways, yeah, chill. What I'm trying to say is chill. But yeah, so the My Way killing. So yeah, apparently singing the song My Way at a karaoke bar, if you sing that song, like, I guess like poorly or something, like, it makes people so angry that people keep killing each other over it. Okay? So, it says there's been at least 6 killings since 2010. Alright? Between 2002 and 2012, numerous people were killed for singing the song. And now this is the story that Mr. Ballin covered, which is that 29-year-old Rami Baligula, I'm sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. He was killed by a bouncer. A bouncer, you guys. He was killed by a bouncer at a bar. While he was killing, I know he was singing the song. Well, you could say he was killing the song, but like not in a good way, because he had gone off key, and apparently, here's the thing. Apparently he was having a friendly conversation with the bouncer, like, before. But then once he started singing the song and he hit the wrong note, the bouncer just lost his mind and fucking killed him. With his service weapon, by the way. With no other apparent motive. Okay? And it's like specifically that song, you guys. It's so bizarre. Like, I don't know. See, explanations. So there's supposed explanations about it being about machismo. Whoa, he wasn't No, apparently he just did it. In the middle of the song. He just up and shot him. Yeah, exactly. It's not that deep, bro. Yeah. So this is this is what people say it might be. Oh, it has to do with, machismo, or people being drunk, or, it could just be because it's a popular song. And people get, it's kind of we're people are getting killed in karaoke bars all the time, and because it's such a popular song, it just happens to be that song is what they're singing when they get killed. But in this case, it doesn't sound like there was any other motive, except that the guy didn't like how he was playing the song. He was singing the song. But yeah, I don't know if that really counts. I don't know if that really counts for a mystery, an unsolved mystery, but I certainly think it's mysterious. All right, but anyways, guys, we're not going to be able to get through all of these. Let me try to figure out which of the ones I'm most interested in. Okay, guys, I know that this is like, so I just want to know what you guys think. Who did it? Who killed JonBenet? I wasn't going to go over the whole case because everybody knows it. I was just curious what you guys think. I think the parents did it. That's just my opinion. But anyways, we're not going to cover that one today because we don't have time. But JonBenet Ramsey, I think the parents did it. I'll probably be done after stream is done though. Wait, oh, sorry. I got to go off. My phone overheated. Oh no. I'm sorry your phone overheated. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. If you don't make it back, I appreciate it. Thank you. Parents killed her. Yeah, that's what I think. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole case today. And I'm going to move on to something else in a second. But I think the parents did it. I don't believe the whole theory about the brother. I think the brother knows something, but he was a child when it happened. So I think he's just like, he's just covering up the parents, like, he's been covering up since he was a kid, so I don't know. But anyways, I think the parents did it. That's my opinion. I need to talk about this one. This one's crazy. And this is one that a lot of people probably have not heard of. This might be a good one to end on. I mean, I have other good ones, but maybe I'll do another one at some point. I think this last one is the best one. Everyone's heard of this one, and this one's technically solved. This one's interesting, but no, this is gonna be the one we're gonna talk about. This will be the good one to end off on, okay? So, this is the death of Cindy James. This was a lady, a nurse in Canada, who died in 1989. But she ever since 1982, okay, so what, 7 years? 7 years before she died, she had been reporting multiple instances of harassment, stalking, and even assault, okay, being conducted by some sort of stalker or like bad person or whatever. It's her. Oh, you've heard of this one? Yeah, I think some people have heard of it, but some people haven't. So I'm gonna go over some of this. So yeah, so she claimed that she was receiving obscene phone calls, obscene letter. Here's a picture of a letter here. I mean, I don't know if this is graphic. It's kind of like obscure. You can't really see that much, but like sent like I see you with like violent images. Okay, this is what she claimed that he looked like. Cause okay, here's the thing. It escalated. It kept escalating. So it started with phone calls, and then like saying all these like nasty things. Now she had been married before. And I don't remember if she had implied that it was him or if somebody else figured that it was him. I don't know. There were different theories about who was doing this, whether it was the ex-husband or if it was just some creep in the neighborhood or whatever. Now, some other people had allegedly seen like notes or heard phone calls that she had received, but for the most part, a lot of like nobody else had really she didn't think it was her ex till the last year or so. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Jake. See, I a lot of these stories I've heard like a while, or like I watched a documentary or listened to a video like a while ago, so I may not remember everything, but I think my memory is pretty good. So we're gonna do it as best as I can. But for the most part, no one else was ever really there when any of this happened. Okay, so it was just kind of like her word, but like, I mean, who would make this up, right? Who would make up all this crazy stuff happening? Now it escalated though. It escalated because in 1983, so this is 6 years before she even died, her friend and coworker went to her house and found her lying unconscious in the backyard with a nylon stocking wrapped around her head. Okay? So like in a very bad position, like she had been attacked, okay? And so when she woke up, she said that she had been attacked by 2 men, okay? and there's some graphic details, written out on the screen. So like, I'm not gonna read those out loud, but bad stuff is what she claimed happened. Okay, she received, and then after that, so obviously she filed a police report and everything, but nobody, was able to find, any other evidence of it, and weren't able to find who did it. Yeah, so she continued again to find to receive more threatening messages. She said she found 3 strangled cats in her garden. I mean, like, these are things that here's the thing about this. Like, phone calls is one thing. Listen, phone calls is one thing, letters is one thing, but like being unconscious in your yard with a stocking around your neck and dead cats showing up in your yard, like, I believe these are like real things. Like, I believe that the dead cats were real. Like, obviously her being unconscious is real. 1884, she was once again found lying unconscious in her house. Okay? With a knife stabbed through her hand, you guys. Through her hand, okay? Like, real wound, okay? This is not like superficial injury, okay? Along with, obviously a very threatening message left behind. She claimed that she had been, detained, that she had been injected. Strangled cats is taking it too far. I hope Bubby was found and running. Well, let's keep keep going through the story. So yeah. So all this crazy stuff. I mean, I could keep going and going, but that her dog was beat up. Like, luckily, I think the dog survived, maybe, but another dead cat was found. I'm just kind of skimming through here. Like, there's so many different things. I can't remember if there was another time. Oh yeah, she claimed that she was attacked while she was walking her dog at some point. Yeah. Oh, she was found dazed, attempting to enter the home of a neighbor with a nylon stocking around her neck. So again, with a stocking. Okay. She had puncture marks on her arms, etc. Okay. I mean, I don't want to even like go. There's so much here. If you guys want to read the whole Wikipedia article, I'll paste it here. It's very, very detailed, this Wikipedia article. Okay. So, yeah, there's another nylon stocking. There was a fire, a supposed arson at her house. Okay, this goes on for years and years and years and years. Okay. Now, eventually, she went missing. She went missing, but she was found, like, I think the same day, deceased. Oh, actually, no, wait. No, never mind. It wasn't the same day. It was a week later. Wait, May, June. Yeah, it was a week later. Sorry. She went missing, and then a week later, her body was found in the backyard of an abandoned house. Her body was hog-tied with a rope in the fetal position. Hog-tied, you guys. A black nylon stocking around her neck. Okay. All this stuff. And I don't remember. Did they say she died from asphyxiation? Autopsy. Oh, she had died from multiple drug intoxication. Okay. Now, here's the thing. They originally they had ruled it, or they had basically said that it was a suicide, you guys. Okay. This story is so bizarre. They investigated all this stuff, and their stance was that she had made up everything. Everything was all made up by her, and that she actually had killed herself at the end, which is like, is that even possible? And it's like you would think, like, no way, like, there's no way. But like, I remember when I first heard about this, like, they were kind of explaining the evidence for why they were saying that how they were saying that she could have done this to herself. And I was like, I mean, I guess, but like, it's so bizarre. Yeah. So let's see. That she may have died elsewhere and her body was relocated, which obviously she couldn't do herself. Yeah. So ultimately, they determined that she had died from a quote unknown event. They ultimately decided that they could not say whether she was murdered or whether she had committed suicide. So So, guys, this is such a crazy story after everything I just told you. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this stalker existed and she was murdered, or do you think that she was so crazy? Do you think she was so crazy that she made everything up? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes me think that maybe she really did go to this length. Okay? Is that the level of harassment is so insane. It does kind of sound like somebody it does kind of sound like someone trying to make it as bad as possible. Yeah, but Puffy says sounds like forensics being lazy as usual. I mean, that is also true, because there are a lot of times when we've seen a lot of cases. Well, I don't know why I say we as in people who watch true crime. I said that as though I was a hardened detective. Like, we've seen so many of these cases over the years in my 25 years of law enforcement. No, but I just mean like there have been so many cases where the police basically just drop the ball, where like someone goes missing, they're like, oh, they'll come back, and then like they never come back. So, but at the same time, like when they go through like her history, and that she had like some very severe mental illness, and that there were some of these incidents that I think there was evidence. I mean, you can read the whole article yourself if you want to, that they had been faked. So like, it's a really insane story, you guys. It's a really crazy story. I might have to read this whole, because I've listened to multiple like video essays and stuff about, or like maybe not video essays, but like true crime, like in-depth videos about this case. Okay, it might have been a while ago that I did, but I haven't read this whole Wikipedia article from beginning to end, so maybe I'll have to read it again and let you guys know if I change my mind. But I'm kind of like, this one I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like it really makes more sense that she was murdered, but at the same time, like I feel like I've met people who are crazy enough to do something like this, so I'm kind of like maybe she really did. Hi, Ruthless. Hi. Unfortunately, I am ending my stream soon, but thank you so much for stopping by. All right, Jane Cater says the bizarre thing is that her ex-husband was a psychiatrist who was good friends with another psychiatrist who went on to be charged with hypnotizing and, abusing women. Oh, I think he also had a connection to MK Ultra. Hey, maybe it was the husband. Thank you so much for the follow. Maybe it was the husband, and that he made her sound crazy. Like, he made her sound crazier than she was. I mean, yeah, to me, all this stuff happening for so many years, for her to maintain this for so many years, like, would be, I mean, it would be, here's the thing, there's two things. It would be hard for her to maintain this for this many years, but it would also be hard for somebody else to do this for so many years and not get caught by another person other than her. That's the thing. That's the thing that when I was listening to this story, like on other YouTube channels and stuff, that I was kind of like, wait, so nobody else actually witnessed? I mean, I'll have to reread, like I said, you guys, I'll have to reread this whole Wikipedia article, because I had never read this from beginning to end. I've just listened to videos about it, and maybe see if there were some cases where there was somebody else who witnessed something. But I think when I was listening to the videos and stuff, I was like, the fact that all this happened, all these incidents happened, and in none of these cases, nobody else witnessed anything else, like, that is the part that kind of makes me think that she actually went to the length to do this, because she was so because I mean, not like I said, I don't want to tie like mental illness to like crime or something, but like, sometimes when people are really, really mentally ill, like, they will do things like this, and it's not like it's not like they like want to do it, even. It's just that they like are compelled to by their Hi, Bubblegum! Hi! Unfortunately, I'm wrapping up the stream soon, but we're just discussing the last case, which is a really crazy one. It basically is a lady who, like, she was, stalked, and like, all this stuff happened for, like, 8 or 9 years, and then she ended up passing away in a very, strange circumstance, and they at first they said that she had done it to herself, but then now they're saying they just don't know. But thank you for the blow kiss. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's kind of weird because that's a very short summary. This is a very complicated case. But yeah, my kind of thing is that, like, wait, Puffy said, wouldn't you be on some kind of protection if you receive this level of harassment? That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't she somehow find, Wait, it's very possible she was psychologically manipulated into doing this stuff to herself. Okay, Jank, that's getting a little bit. I know MK Ultra's a real thing, but like, that's a little conspiracy. That's a little bit conspiracy thinking. That's a little tinfoil hat. I don't know about that. People in the 80s were alarmingly bad at catching crimes. Yeah. No, yeah, so that's why I'm saying, because at first, like, on first glance, like, at first blush, you're immediately like, there's no way. There's no way she did this to herself. There's no way. But when you, like, really go through all of it, I mean, yeah, I guess Jank. So Jank said maybe she was, like, mind manipulated into doing all of this to herself. I mean, I guess that's another option. That sounds like a little goofy to me, but hey, you know, anything's possible, I guess, in this crazy world. But yeah, guys, maybe, like I said, maybe I'll go over this one again and see if there's something I missed. But just from what I remembered, the one thing that kept sticking out to me was that nobody else witnessed it except her. Like, hundreds of events over the course of 9 years, and nobody else ever saw this person. Nobody else ever, I mean, I don't remember if somebody said that they had heard the phone calls or not, but like, you know, nobody else witnessed this. Like, yeah, the police could mess up, the police could not collect evidence, the police could not believe her, but wouldn't her, if anybody around her, like a family member, a friend, somebody, wouldn't they say, oh yeah, I saw that guy, or oh, you know, I don't know. It's really weird. There was even a while she was living with and dating a cop. Yeah, and the cop didn't see it, right? Didn't the cop like would found her like after the fact when she was beat up and stuff, right? But he never saw anything else. Yeah, it's wild, guys. But anyways, thank you so much, guys, for listening to me babble about something else I'm really interested in, which is true crime. I don't know. Oh, thank you for the clap, Jay. I don't really, I used to be way more into true crime, but I don't know that I want to do too much true crime content, just because I don't want to, like, kind of be like, you know, those people who are like true crime girlies who are like, oh my god, like what's the tea about, like, that, like, quadruple murder that happened, like, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't want to be like really insensitive, you know, but I also found it really interesting. So that's kind of like where I am with. That's why cybersecurity is like so much more interesting to me. Not only because I'm interested in the technical aspects, but also because in most cases, like, nobody died. You know what I mean? In most cases, it's just about money. So that's a little bit more my way. But it is interesting. It is interesting. All right, you guys. But this was really fun. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the stories I had queued up. I just wanted to make sure I had enough to cover the time. And I do want to have a little space between this stream and my Bunny Garden stream. I'm going to be playing Bunny Garden, 18 plus only, you guys, okay, for the Bunny Garden streams. It is a game, if you've never heard of it. It's a video game where you get to go to a bar with some lovely bunny ladies, okay? And you get to riz them up. And yeah, it is pretty Twitch safe, actually, as long as I put the filter on it. So if you are 18 plus and you're interested, I'll be streaming that in about 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. Oh, harem. Yeah, it's kind of like a little harem of 3 people. All right, but yeah, thank you guys. I hope you liked today's discussion. 2 hours from now, yes, I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys for now. I'm going to give Annalive a big kiss first and say goodbye. Thank you so much to everybody who stopped by. Thank you, Bubble. Thank you, Nixie. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Beaker. Thank you, Ruthless. I know you just came at the last second, but thank you. And everybody else who stuck around on Annalive, I'll give you a big kiss. Bye-bye. All right, and Twitch. I'm going to say goodbye to you as well for now. But I'll be back in 2 hours. Let me find somebody to raid on Twitch for now. And thank you again to Will and Tekka Mech for the raids. Yep. Chitty Twitch. Rayana! Thank you for coming, Rayana. Thank you. Wait, I think I think we're gonna have to rate. I think we're gonna have to rate Clotho today because I'm interested in his stream title. His stream title is "We're Looking Respectfully." All right, we're gonna rate Clotho today. I think I've found a good balance of when to raid other Nexus members and when to raid out of the Nexus ecosystem. I think this is a good time to raid in the ecosystem. Okay, into the Freako system, as I like to call it. Alright, let's go. Big kisses to everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Beaker. Thank you, Rihanna. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jink Hater. Thank you, Puffy. Thank you, Blue and Blue. Thank you. I'm sorry if I didn't get to you. Thank you, everybody. Big kisses. Bye-bye.